Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the editorial director with Women of Power Summit and host of Women of Power TV, Caroline Clark.
Do I have sound? Thank you. How are the sessions? Great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, welcome back to Satisfying Your Appetite for Profits in the Food Products Business. That is a great title, but this session is going to do so much more. This is going to satisfy your appetite for joy, satisfy your appetite for sisterhood, and satisfy your appetite to meet two incredible women who I know we all admire and adore. There's talent and there's giftedness. Talent we all have, thank God. Giftedness is something else. Giftedness is extraordinary. Giftedness sets you apart. Our next two guests are gifted in the extreme. When they sing a song, if somebody sang it before, or somebody didn't sing it before, God bless the child who sings it after them, because once they sing a song, it has been sung. It has been sung and they own it, and you will always hear it in their gifted voices. They each have a testimony and they have shared it in song, even though they come from different genres. They each have an extraordinary power that inspires and uplifts us as they use their gifts. And I know you all would love to hear them sing today, but that is not why we are here. What you will hear them do is talk about another aspect of their business lives entirely, and their brands. And I am not going to take up any more of your time with me talking about it. I'm going to bring them out so they can talk about it. Please welcome two inimitable, incomparable, iconic, incredible, and incredibly gifted women, Ms. Patti LaBelle and Houston's own Yolanda Adams. Hi. Oh. Hello. So what you don't know is that when they greeted each other backstage, it was with a lot of this and a lot of glee and joy, and my sister's here, and your friendship goes back a mighty long way.
A long way back. We're sisters for real.
Yep.
When I'm down, she brings me up. If she's down, I'll bring her up. It's like honest love. It's not pretend show business love. It's for real love. That's who she is to me.
And you say show business love. You know, one of the things you first said when you told me about your friendship with Yolanda is that in this business and outside of it, meaning the entertainment business, she is one of your truest friends. And entertainment business, we all know, is a tough business, right?
Yes,
so you have to be careful who you trust.
It's hard to trust.
And in business in general, hard to trust. So one of the first things I wanted to ask you all, because we've been talking a lot at this conference about partnership and the need for Black businesses in particular to not go it alone, but to find people to anchor yourself to and join with so that you can grow beyond what you can do yourself. How have you all decided, both in your entertainment realm and in the things you're doing now, who to trust, how to trust, who to partner with, and why?
We probably both have different answers for that. I chose my family in the beginning for my singing career, and it was my husband who we were married for 33 years, and I trusted him with my show business life, and he was very honest, very good. And after that, my son, well, we were divorced, so after that, my son took it on, and I don't trust anyone like I trust my son. He fights for me. I found that yesterday. He fought some people for some stuff, and he got his way because I'm his mommy. And so I trust my son in this business also with Walmart. My son and Charles and Alex, they're the reason that I'm with Walmart because they said you can do it because you cook all the time. And so I trusted him and took a chance, and thank you, Jesus. I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about you, Yolanda?
Well, my story is very similar to Patty's. You live your life with great people that you grow up with, and they are the folks who have seen you, like Patty said, up, they've seen you down, but they listen to your dreams. And when someone is invested in what you're invested in, you find out, and you find out quickly. Because sometimes people are like, that's nice, but do you really want to do that? Have you dealt with that before?
Yes, sir.
Is this
You
it?
know it.
Yeah, that's good, but ain't nobody else doing that.
That's
well,
why
the
you
whole
should
point
be.
is, I
I'm
want to
doing
do it. It was given to me to do. So beyond my family, I have extremely amazing friends who are also business people. And if I start naming names, some people in the room will know who they are, but they have great business acumen. And so beyond singing, because I own my own label, I'm a songwriter, I do all of those things. Oh, you're so sweet, thank you. Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
But it's the same type of thing when you go into the food or the body care business. You still have to have the structure where everybody is accountable to everybody and nothing slips away. And if something slips away, somebody's going to have to account for it.
Yeah.
And so for me, instead of trying to get an outside source that, you know, may put it here or put it there, I always look within. That's why my company is called In-House, because I believe everything I need, God has provided for me in the house.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry.
Did you always know that you wanted to do more than music, or was that something that came later? Yeah.
Well, for me, again, if you guys read the article in Black Enterprise, Black Enterprise.
Yes.
My dad was an educator. He was a coach. And he also did Amway and all kinds of stuff. So I'm this 10-year-old kid helping my dad stuff boxes and bags and things like that for Amway. And I found at that time, well, I realized a little later, wait a minute, my dad is in business. And so his thing to us all the time, we talked about it at Mother's Day, my family. My dad always said, be able to do more than one thing in life. And if you're able to do more than one thing successfully in life, you'll always have streams of income. And so that's how it started with me. Anything I love to do, I just believe everybody else loves to do it. You know, all of us in here take baths and take showers, hopefully. That was a joke. It's just a joke. Just a joke. But I love that. And, you know, so to be able to fill the tub with bubbles and things like that, I know I'm not the only one out of 8 billion people in the world that likes to do that. So that's why I created the Body Line. And I love, love, love smooth coffee. So that's how the coffee line came about. But yes, it was my father who started it.
And the coffee is awesome.
Thank
so,
you. Oh, my
so
love.
are your bubbles.
Oh, my love.
Awesome, beautiful.
Thank you, my dear.
How about you, Patty? Did you know, you've taken a lot of risks in the last few years of your life. Just recently, you know, you did Dancing with the Stars,
Yes.
if you all saw it, which was, no small feat for anybody, but especially at this stage. And the Walmart deal that same year started, right? What made you sort of take these leaps?
Well, I had been asked to do Dancing with the Stars for about 3 years. And Zori, my son, came up to me and said, Mom, they want you to do it again. Can you do it or will you do it? I said, heck no. He said, why? I said, because I'm 70 and my knees don't feel right. So then I said, I'm 70, but I still can move with these bad knees. And they're not bad, don't get me wrong. but I can move and I can do it. So I went on and I did 6 weeks. I could have won, but I let other people win, you know. I don't want to take it like that. So I did my thing there, and then with the food, with Walmart, like I said, my son's been working for 1 billion years on things like this for me, so that if I go to sleep and wake up, I've made a whole bunch of money. Like I don't have to sing if I don't want to. That'll never happen.
Exactly.
But that's the idea. When you take on something like this, you pray that your quality of your product is fabulous and that you're not ashamed, because somebody will say, well, that was that and that was that. So far, nobody said that was that except it's good. So that's a blessing. And I have this Kina, the girl who works at the bakery for Walmart. She's like a trusting soul. You met, yeah, you know her.
Beautiful child.
Beautiful spirit. And so she's been bringing everything into the public, and we've been making it and having fun. And I did do just something else that I had a long time doing, a jazz album for 10 years.
Just out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years I haven't recorded. And that was because nothing was coming my way. There were no great labels and all that stuff. And so you don't do anything. And so when my ex-husband came to me with the idea of doing jazz, I said, heck no, no, no. He said, why? I said, because I've never done it before, and I don't want to mess up the legacy of great jazz music by Patti LaBelle coming up here and messing it up. So I said, okay. He begged me, and one day I said yes. So we finished 13 songs, and it is on my own label. I finally got my own label also, which is wonderful. And so I can now go in and make my gospel album. I'm doing another soul kind of album and an album of ballads, and I can do that when I want, with whom I want,
Exactly.
and any time I want to.
Exactly.
Yes.
Freedom.
Exactly.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yes.
Well, we'll never miss Patty's voice anywhere. Amen. Anywhere.
yours either.
She can sing the ABCs for me, and I'm good. I'm totally good with that.
And like I said to Yolanda, it's not about us complimenting each other.
Right.
It's about us being honest. I saw my friend do Lionel Richie's Father. What's the name of that song?
Jesus is love.
Jesus is love. Child, I came through the TV screen because she gave me chills and crying. And when she speaks, when she preaches, I mean, she's anointed. And so she always talked about my voice being great, and hers is phenomenal. So isn't it nice for us to get along?
But let me tell you something else too. I think you and I saw enough of the rivalry and the craziness that has now been perpetuated in reality TV when it comes to women.
Yes.
And I know that we're supposed to be talking about products, but this is where God led it, so let's do it. I think, I know for a fact, we are so much greater together than we are apart.
Right.
And I'm so glad that Black Enterprise and Walmart found it necessary for us to speak on this, because there's no script here.
None.
There's just, you told us in the back, it's like, hey, we're just gonna let it go. But when we as entrepreneurs, when we as vocalists, when we as creators, because that's what we are in this room, we're a group of creators.
Yes.
What we're doing is we're bringing to the marketplace what has not been done yet the way we envision it. And when you look at yourself as a creator, and I'm not gonna get real super spiritual on you, but we were created out of the image and the likeness of a God who created by saying.
Yes.
And once you say out of your mouth, I am going to do so and so and so and so, then everything in the universe starts coming your way to make sure that that thing happens.
Yes.
Somebody in this room has a great idea for whatever you have a great idea for, and you don't think it is a great idea. Patty and I were ordained today to bring you some encouragement, to let you know that we would not be sitting up here without having to go through some things and folks telling us no. One of our dear friends, B. Smith,
Yes.
told me long time ago, Yolanda, stand on a mountain of no's for that one yes.
Ooh, I love that.
And so when you look at us, I want you to look past the vocals. I want you to look past the persona of, who we are. I want you to look at two businesswomen who are very serious about making the world a better place, one product at a time. And you're doing the same thing. Every entrepreneur in this building, every manufacturer in this building, every distributor in this building, you have a charge today to do the best that you can, not just to put a product out there so people can buy it, but put a product out there that you can be proud of, that you can say, you know what, I know this was given to me by God. I know this is going to change the world. And then be grateful. I think that's the difference between you and I and a whole lot of other of our friends.
Oh, yes.
We're grateful to God that we have been in this business this long. We can go anywhere in the world. People ask us to sing, but more than anything, we can still do and enjoy what we've been doing all our lives. So I think gratitude has a lot to do with being able to sit up here and love on you, and you love on me, and we love on them, because it will get hard.
Yes, it will.
Talking about how hard it can get, I think some people perceive that when you have products that are celebrity driven, you don't encounter hurdles, right? The doors just fly open and everybody says, please, 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 do this for us. But I know the hurdles are significant, and that everyone here can identify with what they are. So can you talk a little bit about, what those hurdles were for you all as you brought these products and are still bringing these products with your coffees, Yolanda, to market? Patty, you talked about concern that your beloved sweet potato pie would not end up tasting like your beloved sweet potato pie, but might taste like something else. Right. And just the other hurdles that were thrown in your path that you had to get through to make this happen. Naysayers, people who just want to keep you in your box.
Like Yolanda said, naysayers, but you have to believe that you're special.
Yes.
And that your product is special. And I knew it was special. I've been making those pies all my life. And, I said, what do I do better, bake or sing? And it was really like puzzling to me. And then I came to the realization that I cook better than I sing. Now, I promise you, it's no joke. I can cook my face off, and it's very edible. but problems we all encounter, when we're trying to do this, like we get no's. We get no's. But my son and his two buddies, they fought the no's and made them into yeses. Now, I was making sure that it tasted right. So every recipe that you taste of mine, I make them first, and then we do our thing. But I'm involved in it totally, from the beginning until the end.
What do you love more, baking or singing?
Singing.
That's easy.
Yes.
Singing, but you cook better.
I cook better than I sing, but I love to perform. I love to see an audience. And I love to see somebody smile or cry or whatever. And I love a standing ovation. Don't you? It's real. You get out there and you sing your heart out and say, oh, they're standing up. And then I come back for an encore. Honey, my day is made.
Well, I've heard you've gotten some standing ovations for that cooking, too. That's what I hear.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes.
Now, the one thing that I have to say that makes it difficult or just a little bit more difficult for us, people see us as, again, like I said, they see us in a certain way, so they put you in a nice little neat box that fits their view of you, which is, first of all, mean. Don't do that. But because we don't come with the MBAs and all of those things that your normal business people would come with, we are pretty much dismissed as if our product is not as excellent or if we are not as serious about what we present to the public as someone else. We're just as hard on ourselves. As Patty said, she wanted to make sure that her stuff tasted just like it would in her kitchen, from, you know, from Walmart to your table, from her kitchen to wherever. It's the same thing with us, because I had a gentleman tell me in a bank, which I will not name, but I presented the idea to him, and I said, you know, I believe if I have this concern, there are tons of people out here with this concern. And this was concerning the body products first, because they came out before the coffee. And the man was, you know, he listened, and, you know, he kept listening, shook his head and things like that. And I think he was more concerned that Yolanda Adams, the singer, was in front of him, as opposed to Yolanda Adams, the entrepreneur, was in front of him. So he dismissed Yolanda Adams, the entrepreneur. And in doing that, you know, once the meeting was finally over, well, I tell you what, we'll call you. And I'm like, all right. Because you have to be nice, because you're in their building. And so I said, okay, but I know enough about life to know that sooner or later, this no will become a footstool. And that young man had to see me later on be one of the sponsors of the several things in Houston. And so when he saw me and they would give me these awards and things like that, he'd be like, and you know, you know what I mean, if you took your business plan to a bank and said, I want, you know, such and such a money to do this and do that, and then you've gotten a no, you know what that means. But then for a person to perceive you differently because they have an idea of who you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to stay, like I'm supposed to stay in my gospel lane, so to speak, to him. And I thought that was unfair. But, you know, God always gives you that really nice way of letting your enemies be your footstools kind of thing. And so now, you know, now I'm up here talking about my coffee at Walmart.
Thank God. That's good. And
Let's talk a little bit more specifically about your products, because we are here to do that. So since you started talking about your coffee at Walmart, Yolanda, why don't you tell us about the coffee, which is coming on its way, right? But is available now. You can tell them about e-commerce and what preceded that, how you got to this point.
Well, it's really interesting how the coffee came along. I am a coffee tea drinker from way back. Started drinking coffee with my grandmother, and I knew taste bud wise what I wanted it to taste like. I knew nostril wise what I wanted it to smell like. You know, I'm really a coffee drinker, y'all, for real. So, you know, I wanted it to have a certain palate. I wanted it to be smooth. I didn't want to bite at the end. I didn't want to bite in the beginning. I wanted it to be so aromatic that when you walked into the room, you were like, whoa, I need some of that coffee. And my attorney and a young lady with the Lavelle agency said, hey, we have this opportunity. There's this company here in Houston. They manufacture, distribute, do everything, but they're here, and you can actually see the beans, you can taste the beans, you can look at the process, because I'm very hands-on just like you. I want to make sure that there are no kids 10 and 13 years old running around trying to, you know, drag the stuff over here and stuff, and we've been through enough of that with Kathy Lee and all of that going on. So we have to make sure that we're ethical in all of our stuff. I wanted to make sure that there were no pesticides and things like that, because I'm a huge health buff, and I know what pesticides do to our bodies, which is why we have so much craziness going on right now. So I wanted to make sure that was not a part of that. When I got there, I enjoyed a 2-hour tour, and they showed me from the beginning to the end how it would be made, and they would not shortcut or do anything to, you know, make the product any less. And I'm like, wow, I love it.
When there's such huge players in the coffee market, though, you know, it's pretty courageous to go there. Why go there? There's a lot of ways you could have gone. You already had Bath and Body products. I know you were passionate, but you know, it's a tough market to enter.
Well, I mean, it's tough if you don't believe. Everything is tough if you don't believe. I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yes.
That's always a hey. If I'm drinking it, I know somebody else is drinking it and they'll want to drink it. Why not?
Right. Patty, how did you decide, given the breadth of your cooking skills and your desserts?
What did you say?
How did you decide, given how many things you love to cook and cook well, how did you decide where to begin with which product and then how to build out the line from there?
Well, the sweet potato pie was the first, and that went really well. And most people I'm a diabetic, so I can make them, but I can't eat them. But I make sure I taste everything, you know, in moderation before I say it's a go. And then it was the peach cobbler, the apple cobbler, the blueberry cobbler, the pecan apple cake, a sweet potato roll, a diet sweet potato pie, not diet, no sugar added, sweet potato pie, and
Banana pudding, don't forget the banana pudding.
I did taste some today, a little bit. My son said, Mom, not anymore. I said, baby, this is good. I mean, because I tasted it before, but today it was special going down my, you know.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I mean, I must say that I am proud of all of those items. We're coming out with savory next. So, you know, the macaroni and cheese and all that other stuff for dinner. Dinner stuff.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to get together again and have a meal.
Yes.
Savory to sweet.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that they can also sample the Texas pecan. The coffee is over there, so
There's coffee right there.
And I want y'all to be serious with me.
Taste
you
it
know,
and tell the
don't be
truth.
like, it's all right. It's okay. Zuri already gave me his stamp
Yeah,
of
my
approval,
son
so I'm like,
my son doesn't like anything except Starbucks coffee. When he tasted hers, he came out of his box. He doesn't talk very much. He said, this is some of the best coffee I've ever had.
oh, thank you.
So you know you're good when you pass Zori's
I know.
coffee test. Yeah.
So you all can taste the coffee as well. And we're going to open up for questions in 10 minutes. There is a standing mic right here. So I advise you now, if you have a question, come to the mic. If I see you there before we're through the 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and open up because I know many of you have questions and we do want to get to them. So you all are very deep into your careers as entertainers. And very well established and very successful. And you've both started these other things sort of down the road. Do you wish now that you had started them sooner? What would you say to your 25-year-old self starting out in the music business about these other things?
About our other ventures?
Yeah, like would you have wanted to start these things sooner?
No. I think at 70, I think I was when I started, whatever. And I didn't think it was too late. Right. I had learned enough about me and my show business to know that it's time for me to do this. But I never thought about, girl, you should have done this 10 years ago or anything like that. I should have done it when I did it. And thank God it was all right. Yeah. Yes.
And you know, for me, faith never looks back. You know, faith is always forward. So if I try to go back and say, if I coulda, woulda, shoulda, then I am really slapping God in the face for what he has for me going forward.
Ooh, yes.
You know, because what he has for me going forward, I want, y'all see this big smile on my face? I am so excited about what's about to happen.
Oh my God.
And I want to encourage any one of you in here, you are here on purpose today to learn to be grateful, to encourage yourself, to expect the best every morning that you wake up. Yes. Do not take no for an answer. If they tell you no, tell them thank you very much. I'm going to keep on going. Whether you are crawling or whether you are walking on your knees, thank God that somehow, some way, whatever the desire in your heart is that God gave you, it's coming to pass. I am a witness. So, you know, my 25-year-old self, nah, she wouldn't have been able to handle all of this right now. Because, you know, I have a confidence And Patty used to tell me before, I have a confidence now and an assurance that whatever I put my hands to right now, it's going to work because I know something now. I've experienced some things now that at 25, I didn't have the wisdom to do. And at 25, I didn't have the wisdom or the humility to say, I don't know how to do that. I need some help with that. You know, because y'all know millennials. Yes. Everybody in here knows a millennial. And they, you know, I love their zeal, but you gotta have the zeal with the knowledge. Because without the knowledge, you'll go out there and you'll run in front of a Mack truck and get hit, and it's like, oh, poor millennial. You know, but we want you to have that excitement, but get someone that you love, that can mentor you and give you their wisdom. That's why it's so important to have people in your life that will tell you the truth.
And I was going to ask you, who mentored you all? Who did you all look to for role models as you entered this phase of your careers?
I love her so much.
I don't really know. I always looked up to my mom, you know, and Lena Horne, but that's about it. Yeah.
What were the most key lessons you learned from them?
Oh, I learned class from Lena and from my mother. And I learned how to be kind from my mother. You know, never, ever treat anyone any way that you would not like to be treated. And I go through life like I speak to people at the airport before they speak to me. I say, hey, you know, kind. And they'll come up to me and say, we were afraid because you're an entertainer. And so many of them had told me no. I said, well, I'm not that girl. I love people. And I love class. And this is class, this is class, and this is class. Yay! And you know what else? One more thing I have to say about Walmart. Okay, so we have an affordable price for everything. And I have some white friends. My best girlfriend, she's white, okay? So I said, Miss Thing, did you taste my pie yet? She said, I showed her. She said, what is that, pumpkin? So I said, no, it's not pumpkin, boo-boo. It's sweet potato. And she said, I'd never heard of that, Patty. I said, well, it's out in Walmart. She said, I don't go there. Miss Thing, I said, you don't have to send somebody if you want it. You know, some people don't want to be caught in Walmart, which is so awful.
Crazy.
It's crazy. I'm in there as many times as I can be.
None of us don't want to be caught in Walmart, especially getting a sweet potato pie or some banana pudding.
Oh.
Or some coffee,
you don't-
soon to be.
No, I'm saying so many people, they got it twisted.
Yeah.
They really
You know,
do.
so anyway, what we're doing, I'm bringing these pies to people who never heard of sweet potato pies, only pumpkin pie. And that's in most white families. And I said that to say, I don't know. What did I say for? I just said it because it's true.
No, we were talking about what you learned from
From
mentors.
my mother and Lena Horne.
Right.
Oh God, I go totally off. Yolanda knows this. I said, Yolanda, if I go off, cut me, right? Because she knows I get into spaces. I'm a Gemini, and I go all over the place with my thoughts and stuff.
That's
class
okay.
from my mother and class from Lena. Next.
And class, and you taught your girlfriend where to go get some really good pie
Yes,
and
Lord.
everything
Yes,
else known to
yes,
man in
yes.
Walmart.
Right.
How about you,
I
Yolanda?
have I have a great life with great friends, and I surround myself with business people. One of the first millionaires I surrounded myself with was a dear friend of mine, is a dear friend of mine. His name is Lonnie McBride. And he was in one of the publications as one of the top millionaire sellers of real estate in Houston, and that was back in 19-something. And so I surrounded myself. I wanted to know what he knew. And also my friend Clyde Drexler is huge business-wise. He spoke yesterday. We would have lunch like maybe once every quarter so I could just pick his brain. Why do you do this? And why did you go into this part of the business? What does this mean? And I would just ask. Entertainment-wise, Tyler Perry has been a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine since we were teenagers. And I knew his story. and I knew where he came from and what he has become. So I will always pick his brain as to what's next and why did you use Instagram and Facebook folks in your last Halloween movie, because he's very brilliant when it comes to using what's now to get it to the big screen. And so music-wise, same thing. I have friends, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who, you know, the music industry has changed, but they're at the forefront of making young entrepreneurs or young musicians their own labels. So those are things that I just surround myself with people who know more than I do, who can take my ideas and say, this is where we can go with that.
That's wonderful.
Important to know what you don't know, though.
Oh, totally, and be honest about what you don't know. Totally honest. I would not be a good underwear salesperson. I wouldn't, because I don't know, I mean, I know fabrics, but I wouldn't know how to market it to people who like thongs as opposed to briefs, as opposed to boy shorts, as opposed to, you know, I mean, I would figure it out, but
But you know what you're passionate about.
but
You
I know what
coffee.
I'm passionate about,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Do we have a question? Did I see somebody standing there? So can you please, and I know this is hard for entrepreneurs because we all have a story, but can you just give us your name and your question so that we can get to as many as possible? Thank you.
My name is Josette Golette. I'm in Dallas. I had a question for Yolanda, but also, before I say that, I want to just say I've been blessed to be part of Patty and Yolanda's life, and I thank you for that. I thank you because I've looked up to you, and I've been blessed to sew for you, and I'm grateful for that. But I had a question for you, Yolanda. As far as your fashion, you had a clothing line, and I wanted you to expound on that.
The clothing line, right now, we are concentrating on getting a distributor here in the United States. With all of the stuff, and I knew with the change politically that there would be a total different way of dealing with your fabric makers and things like that as a result of who we have in office now. And I did not want to lose the momentum, but I also did not want to lose the relationships that I had before. So right now, it's kind of like up in the air. So I'm looking for a distributor and a manufacturer of fabrics here in the States. And I know it may cost, you know, a couple of dollars more or whatever, but I think that we all should, as entrepreneurs, look toward made in America for real right now.
Yes. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, how you doing? Ty Caldwell, co-founder and CEO of Share. Patty, I'm a Gemini, so I understand.
What did he say?
Patty,
Patty.
I'm a Gemini, so I understand.
Gemini, so he understands.
Oh, okay, go ahead, boo. I'm all the way live. Go ahead.
What I want to know is, being that you ladies come from the music industry, Patty, you're in the food industry.
I promise you, I can't hear. I couldn't hear the
Go ahead.
question.
I'll repeat the question when you.
Being that you ladies are coming from the music industry, Patty going into the food industry, and Yolanda, you're going into the clothing industry. How difficult was it for you to reinvent yourself?
Oh, it wasn't.
Was it?
It was not difficult at all.
Yeah.
I think I was born this way with all of these things that's happening for me and with me now. They were all inside waiting to exhale.
Yeah. And I
Ready
don't
to
believe,
come out.
Yeah, I don't like the word reinvent,
Right?
because that means you got to
But
start
start
all
all
over,
over again.
that what you were wasn't good enough. To me, I like, you know, evolving. I like, you know,
Better
making
word.
some, yeah, I like the word, I like that word, expansion, growth. Because what's in you is already in you when you were born. It's just, what are you gonna do with what's in you? And so, you know, I don't have to reinvent myself to know that I love to run. You know, running is a part of my DNA. I run all the time. So I wouldn't have to, you know, start all over to, you know, kind of do that. And so change your vocabulary, because whatever you were doing before is perfect for back then, But what God is about to help you do now is exactly what you're supposed to do. So build on that. Build on where you'll go from here. And don't tell anybody else, I'm reinventing myself. No, tell them I'm in expansion mode. If they ask you, well, it don't look like you're doing that. I'm in expansion mode, I'm evolving. Thank you very much.
I received that. Thank you.
All right, God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, and you didn't leave what you were doing. You just added to it.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So,
definitely.
That's all it is.
next question.
Yes, hello ladies. My name is Ken Davis. I'm CEO of Rollaway Productions, and thank you. I'm a professional skater. I skated for the president. I've also skated for Apollo Theater, won as many times as you can win, 4 times. America's Got Talent. Long story short, I'm producing a TV show. It's called Road Train. It's a skating competition reality show. And I'm looking for people like you to help if you're available. So my question is straight up. Oh, by the way, Pastor Joe and Yolanda says hi. I'm a part of their church, remember? I'm looking for that extra push. I have a whole production team behind me, and I'm like one step away. And I really don't know where to go from here. So I have some presentation forms if any of you are available to help me with it. If not, I understand.
Okay, now this is something that all entrepreneurs who are doing TV type things or anything in the media world, own your own content. Understand what I mean? Get your own camera crew. If it's somebody from your church, from your neighborhood or whatever, y'all get some GoPros, you hook them onto your helmets or whatever.
I have all of that.
Because this is the key. If you own your own content, you can sell it and bargain it. Bargain it, yes. Bargain it yourself. But when you go to, say, a Fox or a Netflix or somebody like that, and it's just a concept here, that's how a lot of people get their concepts stolen from them. And since it's your intellectual property, there are laws on the books that can protect that. But make sure, even if you just do, again, even if you take like 15 iPhones and you do whatever you're doing, you know, you already have a storyboard for probably the first one. Just go on and map that one out. Do 2 or 3 of them. Package it.
All done.
It's yours. You see what I'm saying? Package it, it's yours, and then you shop it. I mean, folks need content all the time. Get your own Roku channel so that you can have that on rotation all the time. The more eyes you get on your content, the more folks are like, hey, we can put some sponsors behind this. We can do this. We can do that. Because sometimes you got to be creative.
Yes.
Okay?
That's great advice. I appreciate it. And I love you both. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. It's hard out here.
I love you so much right now.
All right. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, ladies. I'm honored to meet both of you. Yolanda, you definitely got me through college and a lot of breakups.
Thank you.
And speaking of mistakes, I'm curious for the both of you, what is a mistake that you all made when you were younger that you've now been able to turn into a strength for yourselves?
Say that again.
What is a mistake that you all made when you were younger, or a perceived mistake that you made when you were younger that you've now been able to turn into a strength for yourself?
A mistake.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to tell it.
Maybe, or maybe something that you used to perceive.
Don't
What
you
we
say
just
that
talked
one.
about.
Don't say that one. no.
Maybe something that you used to perceive as a weakness that you realize now is a strength. That's another, I know it's not the exact same question, but.
Okay. That I used to perceive as a weakness and now perceive as a strength. My face. My looks. I had a nose job after many years with that big old thing on my face. And so listen, Yolanda, look it. So I looked in the mirror and said, oh, that's not cute. Honestly, I was a young girl. maybe 16. No, I wasn't. I was older. I was 30. Okay, no, I'm serious, because I'm trying to think of the story that made me know I wasn't 16. I was about 30. Stephanie Mills came to my house in Philadelphia for dinner. And so I'm looking at Stephanie. I said, girlfriend, what did you do to your eyes? What did you do to something? And Stephanie won't mind me telling this. She had a nose job. I said, where's a man? So she told me, but I went to mine in Philadelphia. She did hers in New York or somewhere. I got this new nose because on TV it was looking like that. You know how your nose goes all the way over the screen?
Yeah, mine's
So I said no, and then I had a manager who called me ugly and black. And that's when we recorded I Sold My Heart to the Junkman years ago, but he was taking this little black girl's money, you know, and I was so ugly, but my money was green and cute. But bottom line is I thought I was not an attractive person, and I did something about it. And I still some days say, ooh, girl, you know, when we get up in the morning. But no, we're beautiful all day long.
Yes, we are.
But that
Yes,
was my
we are.
problem of thinking less of myself.
Yeah.
And I was a very shy person, didn't talk to anyone. I had cats and puppies for friends, and I'm serious, I was a little special. But I got over that, honestly, and I really believe that I'm beautiful now. You know, and not beautiful, beautiful.
You are
but
beautiful,
inside,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yes, you are.
inside, I love myself. I love me some me.
Yeah.
And you do too.
I do.
Hey.
I think.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Now you got to answer.
Excellent. I think my thing was believing what someone who was supposed to be an expert at what they perceive themselves to be an expert
Right.
at, instead of trusting my heart. Because sometimes we can let people tell us, oh, so-and-so is not doing that, so why do you want to do that?
Oh.
You know, well, why do you want to do that? Because I have a desire. And I believe if I have a desire, it came from somewhere, so it's in me. I should be able to do this. So,
Yes.
you know, that was my mistake earlier. Oh, it's not one now.
I know that.
Child, look, I'm doing everything. I'm designing workout wear and pillows and
Really?
what else are we doing? We're doing outdoor furniture and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, shoot, we doing this.
Right?
I'm doing
Because
everything I
we
can think
can.
about.
Right.
I'll be designing dog food in a minute. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm
You
only
can.
kidding.
Rachel Ray has a dog food.
Yeah.
You know, so you got a puppy? No dog. Okay. I do. I might do that.
You should.
Next question.
Sorry if we're having fun, but we are.
Hello. I just want to say this question. When you look back on your singing career and all the songs you've written, what was your favorite song of them all? Just one.
I didn't hear it again.
What's your favorite,
Favorite
song that
song.
you wrote?
Oh, I only wrote two. You Are My Friend. That's one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Everybody's
one.
favorite.
And When You've Been Blessed.
Yes.
Those are the two that I wrote
Yes.
with Bud Ellison,
Yeah.
my musical director. Yeah, so that's all I've written, but she's probably written a billion.
Children.
Come on.
They really are, and you know this,
Yes.
they really are like pivotal moments in your life, and they pinpoint where you were at a certain time. Like I know When You've Been Blessed was for, you did the big, beautiful video and everything for that. And
Yes.
that's where you were at that time.
At
you
that
know.
time, yes.
Open My Heart for me was the one that
God.
changed the whole trajectory of my career. And it really was. And people think, oh, you just wrote that and that was so sweet. No, I was really alone in my office on the floor crying.
Really?
And I think,
Wonderful song.
thank you so much. You sing it. I love the way you sing it. But I think, too, the most important things in your life happen when you think you have exhausted everything. And it's at those pivotal moments that God gets your attention and he gives you the exact thing that you need at that time to propel you further. So whatever that is for you, you know, you keep going. But for me, it was open my heart. And when I presented that song to Jimmy and Terry, they said, we got to put some really beautiful stuff around it, and it's gonna change lives. And I still hear that today.
Oh, it does change lives.
Yeah.
It has and it always will.
Thank you.
And it
Girl,
changed
that's a
yours.
phenomenal
Oh,
song.
yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
This is going to have to be our last question.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, ladies. My name is Levon. I'm a co-owner of a local juice company. It's TRAT Juice. It stands for Teaching At-Risk Adolescents Prosperity. My question is simple. When it comes to producing your own product, is it better to market and push it yourself or to get it in a store?
You want to start first?
No.
It's like, no, I'm sorry, I
I
laughed
can't,
so hard
I can't
and
answer
loud.
that honestly because I really don't know.
Okay, now,
So you have
first
to-
question. Do you have like a mobile juice?
Yes, we're
thing?
mobile.
You're mobile?
Yes, so
Okay.
we typically don't have a storefront, so that enables us to actually deliver juice and actually ship it as well. So we ship to 26 states currently.
Remember I told the young man to be creative?
Yes.
Right now, mobile food trucks are the rage. The difference in your juice and somebody else's juice is the way you package it.
Sure.
So you make sure you make your, whether it's a van or whatever it is, you make it the most colorful, crazy looking van in the world so that people, and get a horn, get a weird horn. The horn can say, it can do it, just
Brings
weird.
attention,
And I
yeah.
mean, not weird in a bad way, but a really strange sounding horn, because what happens is when you draw attention to yourself, especially as an entrepreneur, folks are gonna say, oh, you remember this guy with the crazy van? We see this van parked here all the time. But did you realize that that juice is the bomb? And he squeezes it right there. The refrigeration is good. There's no preservatives, stuff like that. And the more you get that, the more you invest again in that. I'm a firm believer too, especially, and I hope I can talk to us. Can I talk to us?
Oh, yes,
All right.
yes, ma'am.
We don't have the advantage of having rich parents who can give us $1 million to start a business. But what we do have is just as important. We have friends, we have social media, and our friends connect to other friends, connect to other friends, connect to other friends. So you might have 50,000 people in your social circle. Make sure that once you have your van together, once you have passed all the sanitation licenses and stuff with the city, make sure that you're the most outrageous juice truck in Houston, so that when you go to the Galleria and you set up or whatever, you know, a kid that's passing by just looks like, hey, a college kid or whatever, hey dude, come here, try this. They try it, and you tell them what's in it, nah, and have them go and, you know, talk about it. How many of y'all, y'all young, how many of y'all old enough to remember the club flyers on your cars? Okay. Okay. You gotta be creative. See, when you don't have marketing money, you gotta have marketing smarts. So you have to, you know, think of the most outrageous thing you can do with juice. People drink juice every day. They should, especially the juice that you have. Moms, kids, those kinds of things. Now, I don't suggest going to schools and stuff like that, because, you know, the popsicle man, you know, the popsicle mafia, they may get you, Doc. No, it was a joke. Nobody got it. Thank you for getting it. But no, seriously, get real creative in the way that you want to present it. Because again, the most creative folks are usually the folks that get more business. And the more business you get, the more you can save a little for marketing, save a little for that. And then there are little things you can do, like 15, 30-second commercials at 3 and 4 o'clock at night that cost you $5. make your commercial the wackiest commercial in the world. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. How many people in Houston know who Mattress Mac is? Everybody knows who Mattress Mac is. You know why you know who Mattress Mac is? Because he would get on television and he would say, back, 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 back. Save, 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 save. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was a rhythm in what he did.
Oh, yeah.
And so people remember what they hear. They remember what they see over and over again. So you're going to be great. You're going to be great. You're going to be great.
Before we close out, I just want to ask each of you, because I know that your friendship runs so long and so deep, what is the most compelling lesson you've learned from each other? Patty, you from Yolanda, Yolanda, you from Patty, that has held you up and helped you continue to be successful?
Well, I've always told her this. You know, she has a radio show. Her radio show is coming back, you guys. And so I listen to her radio show. I watch her on TV. And she's so spiritual and so not phony and so not liking a person if they're not spiritual. She likes people. She lifts me up. And so many times we've talked and I said, I'm in that dark place. And she would say something to me because we went to that football game and we're in that box, you remember? And she lifted me. I mean, this lady is like, I have three sisters who are gone. They're all gone. But I have true sisters, her and Gladys Knight, in this business, who lift me up. Oh, Gladys, girl, you know how that is, girl. Patty, come on, get up.
Exactly.
You know, or whatever, because sometimes I bring my problems to these ladies. And I just thank God that I know you the way I do. And, well, I wanted to say something else, but I can't.
Don't.
But you know who you are to me.
Yes, I do.
That's my Pookie.
I know.
Hey. Oh,
And
and that's it. That's it.
But you know what I've learned from Patty? I've learned, number one, talent has no limit. We live in a world of sexism, ageism, a whole bunch of racism, a whole bunch of isms. But here's a lady who can sing in China, Australia, Africa, America, and people absolutely love her. They love the songs she does now. They love the songs she did back then. And there's so many people who love her and watch her. We've watched the progression from singing with the family to having her own group to the Bells to La Belle to everything that she's done historically. And she's still here today with that fabulous voice. We just did something in Orlando, the Disney Dreamers, remember?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the kids that we talked to were between the ages of 15 and 19. And she sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh.
There was not a dry eye in the room. So you know what she's taught me? No matter how much you've done in your life, what you've done is significant, but there's so much more to do. So much more to do. So she is my shero, and I love her with all my heart. I love you, Mom. You're beautiful.
Well, we all love you both, and we thank you so much for your time.
We thank you for being such a great hostess.
Come on,
Thank
give
you.
her a big hand.
You
You're
all.
great. Give it up.
Thank you. You all can hear Yolanda's radio show when it comes back, see them in concert every single chance you get, and proudly go stand in Walmart and taste the product of their passions and enjoy them to the fullest. Thank you both so very much. Patty loves a standing O, and I know they deserve one.